whatever, it doesn't melt when there's fire in there. Iron doesn't melt under ordinary fire circumstances. So there's only one chemical reaction which actually can account for this observation. And this is called thermite. And this is not an insect with 6 legs from Africa. Or maybe you have thermites. Yes. Little bits. But this is a chemical reaction which actually was discovered by a German chemist called Hans Goldschmidt in 1893 and patented in 1898 because it's a very useful thing. It is a mixture, the old-fashioned, the simplest version of a thermite mixture is a mixture of pulverized, very finely divided aluminum and iron oxide, which is the chemical name for rust. So imagine you have used these two powders mixed. If you can make them to react, which is not that straightforward and easy, but if you can make them react, the reaction is very violent. It produces elemental iron and aluminum oxide, but at the same time, tremendous amount of energy is released in the form of heat. So the iron coming out of this reaction has temperatures of 2,500 degrees centigrade and beyond. This can be very useful for welding. And thermite has been used for railway and tram rails welding for a long time, other purposes also. And iron workers know that there's something called thermite welding. But it can also be used to destroy other iron things. So it has military application and has had so since the 30s in many different varieties. So thermite, classical thermite, is not an explosive. An explosive works by pressure and by force, but thermite works by heat. It's an incendiary. And now I'll show you what thermite can do on a French car, and at the same time give you an impression of how we teach chemistry at the university.
This is thermite. It's a powdered mixture of iron oxide and aluminium, which when ignited burns at 2,500 degrees Celsius, which is very, very hot. This is carbon. It's been specially chosen to be destroyed because it's old, it's white, but more importantly, because it's French. The engine block is the densest part of the car. It's basically a huge lump of metal, and well, it's very hard to melt. Lucky then, the brainiacs have plenty of thermite, especially packed into the slow release mechanism of a garden flower pot. A big pile on the bonnet directly over the engine block should do the trick. Time to light the fuse and give this homage to French engineering the send-off it so richly deserves. The irreversible thermite reaction begins.
I should see what happens underneath the car.
So the firing comes into the bonnet, spraying molten thermite into the engine beneath. The devastation continues inside until finally a torrent of white hot liquid metal pours out of the bottom, sealing the inevitable victory for thermite. A quick check confirms a clear path of destruction through the engine.
But you know the engine block, it's solid iron. And what happens with the poor flower part, the molten iron is just going all the way through the block here. Now you might already has maybe thought of, if he thinks that thermite can destroy, has been involved in the destruction of World Trade Center, we have a problem, don't we? Because the molten iron actually goes downwards in a vertical. How can you ever destroy a vertical column with thermite? Well, this problem can be solved in many different ways. And now I'll show you a little device which you can buy if you, these are hard times. Maybe you need to get rid of the summer house while you're away, or in your own house, if you need that, then you can buy this as a commercial product, and in an advertisement, and it's very, very short, so I have to tell you what you're going to see. you're going to see this device which has thermite within. It's mounted horizontally in front of an iron bar, and there are two cables going down. It's ignited electrically, and I can tell you there is a little propellant. This is the chemical substance behind the thermite, which is blowing the thermite out on the iron bar. Watch out.